Hello everybody, today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and test the Sharkk Basics Humidifier. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So this is an ultrasonic humidifier, and here are some of the product details. And here are the product features for the Sharkk Basics Humidifier. So it does feature a rotating nozzle, a filterless tank, and 12 hours of continuous operation. And now let's go ahead and open up the box. And let's pop the foam packaging off and take a look inside the box. So there we go. Let's remove the humidifier. And remove the rest of the contents from the box. So that's just a card. And there is some papers. And there appears to be a nozzle as well. And always make sure that there's nothing else left on the underside of the packaging. So, okay, so that's the box emptied. Let's set it to one side. And let's move the foam packaging to one side as well. Alright, so let's lay out the contents of the box in the middle of the frame here. So okay, so that's the Sharkk Basics Humidifier contents laid out on the tabletop. Let's start with the documentation here. So there is an instruction manual. And let's take a quick look inside. So always read through the instruction manuals before starting to operate any form of electronics. Okay, so there we go. That's the Sharkk Basics Humidifier instruction manual. You can set it down to one side right there. And let's move on to the next item, which appears to be a nozzle. So it does feature a rotating nozzle. Let's pop the nozzle out from the plastic wrapper, and let me put the wrapper to one side. So there we go. It does have a curved upwards nozzle, and it appears to be a twin nozzle right there. As you can see, two outlets, and they do separate as well. So there we go, showing you that it will give a good coverage when rotating. So you can either pair them up together like that, or separate them like that. So fairly straightforward. Okay, so that's the nozzle right there. Let's set it down on the tabletop right there. And let's start off by looking at the plug very quickly, and the cable length, as I always try and show, where positioning is always a consideration for such devices. Okay, so there we go. A nice good look at the length of the cable or power cord. Okay, so it's nice to see that there are plastic protector caps on the plug pins themselves. Alright, we can leave them off. No need to put them back on, as we will be plugging it in shortly. And now moving on to the humidifier itself. You can see it's neatly wrapped up in a clear plastic bag. Let me just do a quick cut here to release the bag and sticky tape. As you can see, the top has separated from the bottom, but that's just fine. So I go ahead and remove the bag from the upper portion of the humidifier, and then we're going to set this down, making sure that it is in the correct orientation. Alright, so only one way it can go down, like that. It's not going to be able to go down in this way because there is a protruding bit coming out of the base of the tank right there. So straightforward enough. Just double checking and putting it back down, and you can see that the grooves along the front also do match up nicely. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the humidifier. So you can see right there, quite a large device. And of course there are switches in the front as well, so there's a rotary knob. And on the base underside. And I have to be careful if I want to show it together by holding down on the upper portion of the humidifier so that it doesn't fall and crack. But it seems pretty durable enough. You can hear that thickness of the housing. So I'm just showing, giving you a side view. The plug's fallen on the ground, but that's fine. So it is like a R2-D2 with a clear up the top. Once again, showing you that. So there is a caution there. Okay, so saying do not fill water from vapor outlet. And just giving you an internal view of the underside. And once again, there is another caution right there, saying that you should fill the tank through this opening and not from the top. Okay, seems pretty straightforward enough. So there is a spring plunger there for the water to release, so it is a spring valve. Let's set the top down again, making sure that it doesn't roll away as well. And taking a close-up look at the base, let me just position the upper part of the humidifier to one side right there and show you the kind of inner workings a little bit, and close up at that rotary knob or dial. So there is on and maximum positions as well. Very smooth kind of switch, and you can hear that click right there. Very positive sounding right there. To the off position, and there appears to be a tiny LED at the bottom, so a little light indicator. So all around look at the base as well. So simple, straightforward base with solid plastic nodules for the feet. Rightio, so let's go ahead and fill the tank or the upper portion up with some water. First, let's take a close-up look again show you here just how tough that plastic is. It's not even flexing under quite a strong amount of pressure being applied by my grip here. So nice and durable design, as you can tell. And of course the upper part does pop in. And of course we can separate them like that. So that's the nozzle. Doesn't appear to be any fancy mechanism to rotate it or anything like that. But perhaps I may have missed something from the instruction manual, so always read that before attempting to operate any of such electronic devices. Okay, now let's go ahead and fill the tank up with some water. So it does take up to 3 liters of capacity of liquid in that tank right there. But what we're going to do is just fill it up with 1 liter. That should do just fine. I'm just showing you the underside of the cap as well, right there. Okay, now I do have my Nalgene bottle here. Let's go ahead and pour some water in. So it's 1 liter of water going into the tank right now. So just like that, you can see the water in the tank very clearly. Now let's seal the cap, making sure that I've got it in the right orientation. There we go. There we go, nice and tight. And then just showing you it doesn't spill. Obviously there is a valve there on the cap on the bottom side. So let's go ahead and put the upper part in. And you can hear the water transferring from the tank to the base. And of course what we want to do is plug in the power plug as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And lastly, pop the nozzle at the top in. So yep, that's a pretty interesting nozzle. Alright, now let's turn it on. And you can see it instantly mist through the nozzle at the top, right there. And it is very, very quiet in operation. You can hear just how quiet it is. And with the rotating nozzle, what it actually means that it's able to, you can rotate it, but it's not a kind of automatic rotating head or it just means that it's a swiveling head, but there is no form of automatic spinning or anything like that. So it does help with the kind of adjustment and positioning and mist flow from the humidifier, just like that. You can see. Let's turn the knob right up, and you can see that the mist is a lot heavier now, and it's such a cool and refreshing mist as well, as you can see. Really, really nice, really cool, especially on a hot summer's day. Excellent for keeping cool and refreshed. And just angling, showing you the different angles. And of course, if we combine them two together, the nozzles, you can just see how thick that mist or vapor is. And there is a slight bubbling noise from the dehumidifier, beg your pardon, humidifier. But that's just the way it operates with the ultrasonic. So it's a very, very relaxing kind of noise, very, very quiet. Of course, not a silent operation, but very quiet indeed. So let me give you another angle, another look at the humidifier. And we'll bring it in slightly closer so you can see the amount of vapor that's pouring out. It is very, very cool. Right, let's separate the head right there so you can see two spouts or nozzle points. With vapor spurting out in opposite directions right there. So easy to operate. And let's see what happens if we pop the head off right there. You do have a fountain then pouring out from the top of the humidifier. And popping the head back on right there. And we can of course adjust the intensity of the or the thickness of the vapor, and you can see the response is pretty immediate with me turning that knob right down to like a low level right there and turning it slightly higher and a little bit more and some more. And then some more. And then to the maximum right there. So very, very fine adjustments, which is nice to see, enabling you to control the amount of vapor, cooling vapor you require. And nice to see this adjustability as well with directional flow of the vapor. So such a nifty device to keep your household or your room cool when it's really, really hot. So that's the Sharkk Basics Humidifier. Thanks for watching and happy misting!